Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Tiffany with Straight Stitching, where I help new quilters build confidence one stitch at a time. Today we're going to be proceeding with our block of the month. We are now in month 7, so thank you for sticking with me all along. If you're newly finding this video and just discovering our 2026 Mosaics and More Block of the Month Club, there is a link in the show notes. You can take a look at it. If you're interested in joining, you will get access to all of the previous months' written patterns as well as the video. So let's go ahead and jump right into what we're going to be working on today. Today we're going to be working on block number 7, and that block is the Shoefly block. This is a pretty standard block within quilting, so this is another block. Again, the whole point of what we've been doing for the last 6 months and now here in video 7 is working on blocks that are pretty standard and traditional, things that are going to help you build your foundational skills. So for this block, it's super easy, and I really hate to say super easy, but this one really is. It mostly consists of just squares and 4 half square triangles. So this should come together pretty quickly, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for this video, as is the case or has been the case for the previous months, all of the details about the cutting instructions are in the written patterns, and again, you can get access to those written patterns by clicking the link in the show notes that will take you to the information page for the block of the month in general. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to start off by making our half square triangles. We're going to do them 4 at a time. So you see here on camera 2 fairly large pieces of fabric, and we're going to make the 4 half square triangles using these 2 pieces of material. And so this is really easy. I don't like to say easy, but this is super easy because what we're going to do is we're going to just do a 1/4 inch seam all around each of the 4 sides of the square here. And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to do 2 diagonal cuts. So cutting from here to here, and then here to here. And then we'll end up with 4 half square triangles. We will have to trim those 4 half square triangles down to size for our project, but it will come together very quickly. So normally when we're making a half square triangle, one of the first steps that we take is actually drawing a diagonal line on our fabric. So for this one, we're not going to have to do that because, again, we're just going to be making a 1/4 inch stitch around this entire square. So that was pretty quick. So we have our square here, and we have the 1/4 inch seam that you can see we've sewn along all 4 sides of the square. And so the next thing we're going to do is to just cut this 2 cuts, and then we'll have our 4 half square triangles. Just have to. Okay, so we're going to line our ruler up corner to corner, and we'll do 1 cut, and I'm going to rotate my mat and do the 2nd cut. So I'm going to just finger press my seams open. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I like my seams open. Others like them pressed to the dark side. I prefer open. You, of course, can do whichever way you desire. Okay, so we have our 4 half square triangles. We're going to now take them to the iron where we will press the seams flat, and then we'll come back and trim the half square triangles to the appropriate size for our project. When you're trimming your half square triangles, you can use a ruler that is the exact size that you need your half square triangles to be. I find that to obviously be the fastest way to trim because you don't have to do a whole lot of thinking. You just line your ruler up the diagonal on your half square triangle, and you just trim. So that's super easy. Doesn't require a lot of guessing or measuring. Just lay it down and cut. But if you don't have a ruler that is the exact size of what you need to trim your half square triangle to, no worries. You can use any size ruler that is larger than what you need your half square triangle to be. So I'm going to just line up. This is a 5-inch ruler, so I'm lining up the diagonal on this ruler with the diagonal on the half square triangle. So hopefully you can see that. And so I'm going to just trim on 2 sides so that I have 2 straight edges. And then I'm going to flip this half square triangle, and I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line up again on that diagonal, but this time I'm going to line up the ruler so that it is the exact size of the half square triangle that I need. So for this example, we're looking for half square triangles that are 4.5 inches squared. So you can see that I have my ruler. It's lined up on the diagonal, and then on either side of the half square triangle where I've made the straight edges, I've lined it up on the ruler at the 4.5 inch mark. So now I'm just going to cut. Okay, so we have our 4 half square triangles. And like I said, this particular block is pretty easy and fast once you get your half square triangles created. And then it just ultimately becomes a 9-patch block. So I'm going to just lay out the other squares here. So now this looks just like a basic 9-block, a 9 square block that you would be piecing. So I'm going to piece these in columns or rows depending on your perspective. So I'm going to just flip these over here. Okay, sorry, so part of the fabric was under this purple color here, which I should remind you all that for this Block of the Month program, Art Gallery Fabrics has provided the fabric, and for this block we're using the white, which is the snow color. We're using raspberry rose, and then this purple color here is called wisteria. So again, I'm just going to line up the squares, and then I will just sew them with a 1/4 inch seam. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. So we're gonna flip this third square here, and then we'll go ahead and create and complete our first row. Okay, so we have all 3 rows sewn together, and so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of the rows. I'm going to finger press first the seams open, and then I'm going to take them to my ironing station and press the seams open. And again, this is my preference. You may want to press your seams to either side, and actually it works because it creates a nesting feature. I just don't like it. So if I were going to do that, I would press the purple seams, I would press them into the dark, and then I would do the same for the pink, pressing them into the pink, so like in the out direction, and then when you flip them, it would create a nesting effect, and you would be able to feel with your fingers to see that your seams lined up. But again, I prefer to do mine open and then pin to make sure my seams are lined up. it's really a preference. As in a lot of things in quilting, you can do them however you like and whichever way works best for you. There's no real right or wrong answers. Okay, so let's press these open. So I'm going to pin row 1 to row 2 or to this center row. And I am going to, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm lining up my seams here. And then I'm going to just stick a pin in here to hold the seams together. This takes more time, but for me, and maybe not the case for others, it just creates more accurate piecing. Okay, and I'm also going to pin the remaining row at the same time. Okay, so I have all of the rows pinned together, and so now I'm going to just sew them using a 1/4 inch seam. So here is our Shoefly block number 7. I'm going to press the seams open and then I'm going to press them flat with my iron. But you can see this really is, of the blocks that we've done so far, perhaps, yeah, I don't know. I think block number 6 was pretty easy as well because it was just 4 straight strips. But of the others that we've done where there's been a lot more half square triangles, this one comes together pretty quickly. So again, we're just going to take this to the iron. We're going to press these seams flat, and then we will call month 7 a wrap. So here is our block number 7. This is the Shoefly block. This block is measuring unfinished at 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches. So actually all of the blocks for this program are measuring 12.5 by 12.5 unfinished, which obviously will help them to come together easier when we do our final wrap video at the end of the year. But I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If you've watched this video just by virtue of finding it on YouTube, please like the channel or like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I would love to hear a comment from you. If you're a member of the Block of the Month Club, you're of course getting this video sent to you and available via the Learning Center, where you're also getting the written pattern along with all of the instructions. So again, I want to let you know, if you haven't already joined the club, it's not too late. You can click the link below and you will get access to all of the videos from the previous 6 months, and then you'll also be notified and get the information for the next several months. So again, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment, and I look forward to seeing you in next month's video.